We'll wait for Engi to come in.
He's right there.
Oh, hello.
In front of my face. So, if one of you all wouldn't mind pressing enter, we'll kind of show off your else world, and if you don't mind kind of explaining like the thought process of building and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
This has been the same response by every person that has went in here with me.
So the process behind this intro was I wanted it to be very cinematic. I wanted it to feel like a movie. And I wanted to draw the user's attention to the thing that you were supposed to get, which was the architect. And I think I did really well with that.
This is one of my, out of the whole project, this is one of my favorite sound effects I ever designed. You know those moments in creativity where you create something and you just do it. It just somehow gets made in no time at all, and it works, and it's amazing. That was that sound effect of the whole project.
Love it.
They like ties the whole thing together, like.
Yeah, this is the architect, and you can pick it up. And you are greeted with, of course, the tutorial video. We have some developer commentary over there. Credit. This can't be duplicated, so I can spawn out a few. You guys to use. This is... I wanted to make a tool that was accessible for everyone, and I thought, okay, so we have developers, and we have people that aren't necessarily technical, who just want to socialize and have fun. So I thought, okay, why not have a multi-tool that has a bunch of useful tools that people can use, as well as other features to it, like a sword, and you can just have fun with people. And Brooks here with his bow.
I really like the sound on it. I'm gonna pull it.
You can thank Engi for those sounds.
Great. The effects as well.
So Engi, when you go into sound design, what makes you think of what sound should be used for something versus another? What inspires you or gets you into that kind of thought process?
It's an interesting process. I kind of went over it in my developer commentary, but the first thing I always do when I go into a project is I look at the history and the feeling behind an object. I want to know every detail about it, where it comes from, what it is, what material's made out of, the kind of traits about it, and you know how it was made. And then all of that comes together to bring the history of it into its sounds. And so when Ryuvi showed me some of the pictures, some of the animations, and most importantly the adjectives kind of associated with it, I wanted to create sounds with a lot of energy and a lot of, you know, this ethereal, detached, otherworldly feeling. And so when I was picking sounds, I was looking for more a mix between natural and man-made sounds. That's a big thing.
Interesting.
Is your source can, you know, there are sources with imperfections, and that I wanted to incorporate some of that because energy is a natural phenomenon. But there's this artificiality, this kind of constructed perfection about it that I wanted to keep. So it was a balancing act.
Interesting.
For me, when I was designing this, I wanted to make something that felt powerful. Like, that's why this place is called the Edge of Reality. I wanted to make it feel like you've discovered something, because there's a lot of stuff in this tool, and I thought, okay, I'm combining a lot of stuff together. It's powerful. I wanted to give that kind of that powerful feeling, that sense of awe, and that kind of that shows, I think, with my modeling, at least how I wanted to model it. I wanted it to feel alien, but still recognizable. But also minimal in a way, like there's impossible floating pieces, and they react and I wanted it to feel very, almost ethereal.
色は、3
I
回
think
押して
especially
1回押し
the background kind of gives that, as well as like where are we
ア
at?
ンストメニューってや
I
つ
mean, Edge of Reality, what is this
合わ
place?
せると変えられます。
Yeah, we don't know.
And I find it interesting that even the object itself, and I've seen this in a lot of the other works people made, it's almost as if you were to have an entire universe that's Ryuvi's universe, this belongs there. Just like a lot of other creations, everyone had something that fit their personality, like Atomic Wave's domes. Same thing, like you see Atomic Wave and you're like, they should live here. This is their environment. And I like that a lot about all these MMC entries really reflected people's personalities a lot like any type of art form, and pretty fantastic.
Yeah, like it's interesting. This is kind of a reflection of me. I have kind of a calm demeanor. I'm always just kind of chill. I'm always happy. And I really enjoy kind of a more minimal kind of a thing like this. I like expansiveness. I like sci-fi, and I wanted to kind of incorporate these themes into this world. And I'm happy with the results.
Yeah, I think a lot of people were.
I love like how this like actually has so much like attention like to detail and like the particle effects and everything. It just like ties together and just it works. Like the modeling, the like effects, the sounds, like the functionality of it. Like it's even like I just love like the way the particles just like blow up. It's really nice.
Yes. I specifically tied the particles together into a similar theme. Like all of the particle effects, like when you shoot the bow, the hit effect is the same thing as the large pulse effect that you see at the beginning. Just to kind of tie it all together. There's spheres on the world, there's spheres on the architect.
Makes
I
sense.
don't like the kind of flows, like that kind of like design language, like it gives it like the sense of consistency, and it just gives it so much like polish, like it just like feels like really professional.
Yeah, thank you. I wanted to have a mix of kind of curves and spheres and angularity. Because I feel like if I went full angular, it would feel too sharp, and if it was too round, it would feel too round. And I personally like the mix that I did. Interesting fact is most of this I just kind of improvised.
That's the fun.
And I started with style, and it slowly built and turned into what it is now. And that's kind of the story of my life.
Is that how you usually create? Is kind of like a generalized idea, and then it grows from there?
Yeah, I start from a very basic idea, and I start playing with certain shapes, and I fill it out until it becomes something like the architect or this world.
Nice.
Easy or small.
Do you think you all will work as a team again?
I would love to work with Engi again.
Anytime. Well, that's an unknown part of sound design, especially for me. Is also some of the director, the person who, because it's my job to pull those sounds out of his brain. And the stronger that Ryuvi can kind of convey that, the stronger the design is going to be. And it was an absolute pleasure because you had perfect feedback. You know, we had those aha moments where we just kind of struck the right chord.
And I'm familiar with sound design, so I wanted to try and I wanted to give you the right words and such to convey the feeling that I wanted, like powerful or ethereal or resonant. Words like that I know can help with sound design a lot, and having familiarity in that, I feel like that helped them better make their sounds.
Wrong one.
Nice.
There's like aha moments.
And like, the sound design was very organic. Like we started with a basic sound, and then he'd give me a preview of it, and we'd change it, and it would eventually evolve into what you hear now. And on a few sounds, he would come back later and say, "Hey, I made a better one." We'd listen to it and, "Wow, that's better." it just kind of evolved.
I can show you guys some of the prototype sounds.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
One of the early mock-ups. Okay, they're a little bit raw. Just be aware.
That's okay.
It's actually very interesting. The initial models for the architect are the final models. The only thing I changed was I added a blend shape on the bow, for instance. When you pull it back, the arms bend a little bit. That's about it.
I like how it's
Such subtleties.
Very cool.
Yeah, I'm very
Maybe like
that,
this
and
thing,
I
like only like with the particles
Yes.
are
I have
light,
seen
just like-
someone.
One of the things
I've
that's
seen
really
someone
nice
make an
about a
avatar
world
out of
like
this
and other
already.
worlds these are pretty much
Yeah, that's
portfolios or
hilarious.
calling cards for.
And you can actually
developers to
change
see
the
what
duration
you
of
all
these in the
are.
advanced settings menu. If you slide the slider all the way to the right, they don't disappear.
Yes.
Very initial sounds. So after getting the details from Ryuvi, these are the 3 initial sounds I made as a demo with no express intent, and some of these made it in.
It's still loading in for me. Okay. Yeah, I can hear
They're
it.
WAV files. Yeah, give it a sec. So this one.
Okay.
Actually, I think it turned into the weapon switch sound. Yeah, there it is. This is the one. That stayed
That was
in.
the original weapon switch.
Oh, interesting. That has a different feel entirely from all the rest of this. Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And I have some of the early.
I think I chose this one actually.
Good job, Ryuvi. Congratulations.
This is one of the initial gun sounds. You can hit it when it
It's
loads.
still loading in.
Let's play
Yeah.
online and through transferring to others. There we go.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, that end part
We
doesn't
didn't
seem
like
like it
the-
fits.
Yeah, we didn't like the tail on it. It was a little bit too cartoony. It was a little too, you know, we wanted this serious, created thing. And so, we pulled the tail back on that. I think I really struck that. I believe that sound at the end, the wah was actually my voice. Some of that was my voice.
really?
Yeah. Voice is a really good tool. I think the two
I would have to agree with you.
biggest things that I've used is my voice and my desk.
How many of these are your voices inside here? How many of the sounds are actually your voice modified?
Not many. Because voice and energy are not two things you usually connect. I wanted to go super light on it. Usually it was just kind of more like a how much you would drop a spice onto food. My voice was meant to kind of give it that more an angle that I wanted. There was a lot of really cool full objects. Let me grab one of the straws here.
Straws, lots of straws.
This is a plastic straw that I use in my water container.
Straws
I've got a
are
metal
great.
straw around here.
Before you know,
Yeah.
we'll just be sipping all of our food through straws.
That's it right there. A lot of airy sounds. I really focused on using air to create that ethereal feeling.
And that ethereal feeling is exactly what I wanted for this world. This skybox was actually
Where is
rendered
it?
in Blender, and the effect you see up top is literally just a plane that stretches out very, very far with a fall-off gradient.
Oh.
It's a distorted noise texture, and one thing that I wish I could do is I wish I could have it animate, but I feel like doing that with the skybox texture would be impractical. So it is what it is.
Maybe some kind of localized trick.
And there's actually a reset button back here that resets the whole world. Some people just kind of don't realize it's there.
Oh.
Can't read it very much right now because I think Nex has the original bow.
Oh,
Yeah.
here.
Shall we?
You can reset the world, yeah.
So shall we pop back to check out some of the worlds? Thank you, Ryuvi and Engi, for explaining things. It's always great to hear from the artists to kind of see what's inside your mind and how you build. I love it. And I really look forward to seeing what you all do. I'm sure some kind of production studios are going to be snatching you all up for work. I'm sure of it.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much.
I'll stay here, Neo.
Sounds good.
You guys are awesome.
You all are doing wonderful. Woo!
Controller response.
That's great.
Thank you.
Hey, some time dedication, thanks. For sure.
Yes.
So I'm gonna close the world. We're gonna go back to the hub.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
See ya.
See you later.
Congrats, Ryuvi and Engi.
Thank you.
I can also wait for it to load.
That was really cool.
Oh yeah, I think I've seen like
place.
bits of this one before. So let me close the other one. Where do I enter? Wah! Ooh. Ooh, oh, nice. I really love like maps like this, like which kind of like build themselves and have like nice like flair. Just like the whole presentation makes it all more like engaging. Ooh, so we have the ball. There's a thing, reset world. Oop.
Yeah.
Ooh, and we have a tutorial. So let's have a look. We have a tutorial, some two controllers. Let's play this one. Ooh, the architect.
So, you have discovered this place, you have found the architect. I'm going to show you how to use it.
Ooh.
The architect is controlled with a single button across all controller types. The index, for instance, uses the trackpad, and any controllers that are equipped with a trackpad will use that to open the radial menu. So for instance, I will touch, not press, but touch on the trackpad, touch, and I will hold the last touch and the menu will show. This radial menu, you can then roll your wrist to choose the appropriate item you want. If you want to switch tools, you will triple touch and hold touch, and it brings up a second menu with 4 options. These are the 4 different modes of the architect. Each mode has a sphere on it somewhere that lets you swap hands with the tool. In the bow, for example, it is this sphere right here. So if you touch it, it swaps to your other hand.
That's cool.
On each of the tool modes, there is a sphere which changes color depending on what tool you currently have selected. For instance, if I switch to the Logix tool, the orb is blue. This color is only visible if you are holding the tool. When you open the radial menu for the multi-tool, it is equipped with 5 tools. However, if you roll over this last larger sphere, you swap to another set of 5 tools, and you can swap between them by just going over that last sphere. The radial menus for each of the tools is different. The multi-tool has its 10 tools, the sword has 3 tools, the pistol has 4 tools plus an extra mode that I will come back to, and the bow has 5 tools. The pistol is special in that it has its 4 main tools, but it also has what's called a maker mode, where if you hover over the bright sphere here, suddenly you're greeted with the multi-tools menus, because now the pistol can act as a standard tooltip if you want to use it as such. If you are in tool mode and you want to exit it, you will hover over this left sphere and you will be back to its main 4 tools. In all of the menus is this large sphere on the left. If you hover over it, it is labeled Advanced Menu. If you open the Advanced Menu, you'll be greeted with this, where you can change the color, you can enable and disable pose mode, you can customize certain aspects of the sword and the pistol, you can mute everything on the tool, etc. It can also be grabbed and moved around if it is in the way. If the tool is not correctly aligned in your hand, you can open the advanced menu and enable pose mode, and while this is green, you can grab the tool and move it around so that it is more comfortable in your hand. When it is in a good place, you can toggle pose mode again and it is locked in place. This pose is specific for this mode, for this hand, so if I swap it to my other hand, you'll have to pose it for this hand as well. Same for all of the other tools if they are not properly aligned, with the exception of the multi-tool, which is a tooltip and you can't really move that. That's pretty much it for how you use the architect. I hope you enjoy it, and I hope it is useful for you, or if you just want to have some fun.
It's really cool. So like it's kind of like seems to combine like actually like weapons and multiple things like into a single like thing. Let me try the sword. Wait, no, I missed it. Oh, keep touching this by accident though. Can I try it on someone? Do I have to switch? No, force light. What does light do? Actually, let me change the color because it's kinda really strong. There we go.
Green.
Force. Oop. Ah.
I hit myself.
Let's try the pistol. Oop. Ah! Oh wait, I have it to the material gun, so... Gravity. What does this one do? Oh, this just switches your gravity to whatever direction. Objects, material drawing. Collect the colliders, we have a... Force, what does force do? Ah! Oh no! I killed Lewis. Can't shoot himself. These are really cool, like... Cool effects. Oh no! Also change your material.
Trail.
Ah, fuck.
It's really cool like particle effects as well, like on the implant. Oop. Let's see what teleport. Okay, so this teleports you around.
That was not persistent.
Gonna change this. Ooh. What? It's the light. Wait, is that what the light does? Okay, let me try the bow. Ah, I killed Lois again. Ah. It's very cool, like you can get like a little like precision like with aiming as well. Ooh, I really like how it even like expands. Wait, what if I like... I still does like full force. Oh no! Bah! Can I change the color? Just to mix it up a little bit. Ah, I missed. Bah! Did I get him? Let me see what else is there. So we have leap. What does leap do? Is this like teleport? Oh, I see, that's cool. I can actually counter like being shot. Bah! Does it do like anything to you? Nope. No, I imagine no, like it just doesn't do anything, so like it's empty. Multi-tool, oh wait, I clicked it twice. So we have force, teleport, oh there's actually two, so we have teleport. But it just teleports me to like wherever I hit. Hello? Bah. And light, what does the light do? Does it? Oh, it just makes light. Bah! You get light.
It's okay, quick draw.
Light. That is really pretty as well. Okay, let's see what else. So I think I've tried all of these. So let's try.
No.
So we have the multi-tool, sword, pistol, bow. Let's try the sword, I haven't tried it very much. Oh. So if force light. I wonder how that works with a sword. Does it just emit light? I think so, so I can use it like for illumination. Let's change the color again. Let's make it red.
It's red.
Holy cow.
Tools or so. No, let's get a sword. Let's try. So that's force. I'm not sure like what this does. Like this is just like. Oh, it does. Oh no. Okay, so that like just like knocks people around. Is it like seems to be targets? Can I shoot them? Ooh, that's cool. I guess that one selected.
There we go. I'm matching.
What? Then change the light some more. Can make it lime. I like how it actually like affects like the entire world. So the first teleport leap, we tried these. Let's try the pistol again because I haven't explored it all much. Pistol. So the teleport. It's force. Light. So this just makes light wherever I shoot. No, force, teleport, light, material. Oh wait, so like the pistol, it's actually cool, like the pistol like, can work as a material gun, like it kind of like fits, because like shoot things to change them. So even if I spawn like a material from my inventory, it should work.
I don't have my repulsors yet. But just imagine.
What? And I'm just throwing them up. This is the most destructive weapon we can have. The material gun.
Like yeah.
Drawing.
Screaming droid, bro.
Oop. One thing is I keep doing this by accident. Yeah. I think I might be like hitting it with like on the same hand. So you can like draw.
I apparently broke my sword.
Hello.
Perfect.
Come on. There we go. Let's see what else. So let's try the multi-tool because I haven't actually tried it one yet.
I never had to be landing.
Multi-tool. Okay, so this one pretty much like serves as a multi-tool. So right now I keep opening it by accident. Wait, which one do I have? Developer, so this should be the developer tooltip. So it's really cool how it actually like combines like something you can like play around with and something you can like use to build worlds like into a single tool. So it's kind of like taking the whole like multi-tool concept like to the next level, and the presentation is the logics one. Oop. Why did I change it? Logics. There we go. I'm gonna like do anything specific, but just like, yep.
Hey, you talking shit.
Logics, the gravity one changes, and material. I wonder if it changes with the material.
Someone in the Discord server just asked, "What is a yandere?"
Okay, so just put this here.
Can you get a little bit more to the side?
Ah, the bright dragon. Sorry. Let me just change these back.
Small bird.
Small bird.
Correct.
Let's try the settings for the
At least you're not in pneumonia, bird.
sword. So I have the sword again. Let's change the color again. Let's make it pink. Oh, like a little bit white. And you can change the blade length. It's really ooh, that's really cool how it like morphs. So we can make it look longer, we can make it shorter. It's very customizable. Oh, light up lifetime, that's where like light orbs you make. Lights, mute. What does mute do? Does it? I'm sure it does. Is it like for the sound effects or?
Yes. I don't have any special form of movement yet. Hopefully, once I get more work done on my sword, I'll be able to move around using that.
I don't like the bow, just like how it like feels like to use. There's even like haptics on it, so like I can kind of feel like the bow like being pulled. Bah! Oh wait, I have it.
I have my haptics disabled.
Aha! Bah! I'll change the color somehow because this one's a bit strange. I actually make it like pure white, see like how that looks like. It kind of looks like grayscale. I think that's orange. Maybe I'll make it black. Does it just fade?
Whoa.
Ooh.
Darkness takes over the land.
That's not supposed to happen.
And it's back to being yellow.
Should probably go back to the other world and save my avatar with the material marked as persistent.
So this is a really cool like tool by Ryuvi. It's essentially like not even like I don't even call it like just like a multi-tool because it's like something that you can like really play with and like just like goof around. How does it work? You can like goof around with it. It has like multiple like different modes, but it also like serves as a multi-tool, and even like just the presentation of it, like it's like super like polished, like the videos like are well edited, the world like the way like it opens up. So this is a really cool entry. Let's see if there's something we forgot. Like this developer commentary.
Most professionally developed tools.
He
Engi, the sound designer for
even like all the little details like the particle effects on it.
and how it went through development with me and how it started and how it is what it is now. See, I thought about an idea. I wanted something where you could have something that is very functional, but also something you can have fun with. Kind of like an all-in-one tool. A lot like my personal multi-tool, which is a lot of tools in one. I figured that's a lot more efficient and easier to deal with than having to swap out tools all the time or open your inventory all the time to get a new tool. What if everything was just one object? So that's what I strived to make. And it just so happened that the MMC happened just at exactly the same time that I thought of this. It's like, I could make that public. And I've always wanted to give back to the community in some way. So I opted to enter into the MMC with the architect, at least as it's known now. Back then it didn't have a name. It went through many names, actually. I'll have a whole list of them that I could pull out that's on my phone. Development was pretty steady throughout the whole month. It started quite simple. I had a basic idea of what I wanted the tool to be like. I started with a cube and started mapping it out, mapping how I wanted it to be organized, and how I wanted it. At that time I was thinking about how I wanted it to look. And over the weeks, as the weeks went by, it slowly just built up and kept building and building until you have what you have now with the architect. And it suits all the needs that I wanted it to. It's fun, it's easy to use once you get over the basic learning curve, of course, and it's functional. And it's everything I wanted it to be. And I'm happy with it myself. there's so much work, so much logics in it. I'm sure over 1,000 nodes. But for a tool this large, it's necessary. But I have a lot to talk about this, so if you're ever curious about the development on the Architect, I'm more than happy to show it to you and tell you how I did it. Because sharing is great, and I'm super happy to give back to the community, and I'm super happy to partake in the MMC. And thank you, Medra, for even making it.
Imagine this is like another
Hello,
developer.
I'm Engi, and I did the sound design and video editing for the Architect. You might think that's a weird combo, but that's actually got a story behind it. So I joined Neos back in July, and I was super new, super new, but I immediately knew that the Metaverse was something really special and that I wanted to get back to it. I just didn't know how. I was not very good at 3D modeling, and I had very rudimentary programming knowledge, but fortunately I was able to discover what you could do with audio in Neos. I have a background as an audio technician and a professional video editor, and so I started doing odd jobs for people here and there. Unfortunately, one day I was able to join a session where Ryuvi was showing off some of the first models for the Architect, and I knew this was special. This cannot be off-the-shelf sound effects. This had to be designed for it. And I asked them, pestered them even, I want to do sound. Can we do sound? Can I do sound? And they said, yeah, sure. So I asked for some adjectives, and in some of those adjectives was some of the words like ethereal and full of energy and things like that. And I thought to myself, oh gosh, I've never done anything like this. I said, well, let's try it. And as you can probably hear, I think I did an okay job. With my inexperience, I unfortunately had to make some compromises, and one of those was the audio license. I would have really liked to go full open source with the sound effects and the sound, allowing people to dig around my projects and see what I did. But because I had to consult my audio libraries to give it that extra, that extra little bit of spice that it needed, I had to go with the per project license, and so I hope that I can get good enough to create those sound effects myself. But a lot of Foley of my own was incorporated. In fact, I have a list down here of some of the sounds that I have made and the objects I used for them, and prominently featured within the sound is straws. Metal straws, plastic straws, rubberized straws, the straws of all varieties. But also a giant sheet of metal, a long stick for a lot of the whooshing sounds, and one of my favorites, a steam controller. The steam controller is an amazing source of tactile sounds. I cannot believe the plethora of things that controller can be used for. And so thank you, Valve. And I'm just really proud of what I've created, and I really hope that with time I get better with some of these more abstract concepts, that I can continue to give back to the metaverse and to the community. And I'm really glad that you and everyone else are getting the privilege to enjoy what I've created. It's amazing to have something tangible for your efforts. It's really a magical feeling. So thank you for listening to my words from my brain hole, and I hope you enjoy the Architect.
That's really cool. Like even like the sounds, like when you pull this, I kind of like increase the volume like on my end. It sounds like it's really good. Like it's like modulates like the volume based on how far I pull it. Yeah, this is a really cool item. Like the way it's just like in the functionality, but like the way like it's presented, the way it's modeled, like the way it all comes together with the sounds, even like the video. It's really well edited together. Kind of like feel like the professionalism of it. It's like definitely like a really cool item. So this was the Edge of Reality by Ryuvi. And let's see, what's the next one? So the next entry is Fake to Friend MMC by DFG Hiatus. So let's open that one.